I lost 50 pounds in 4 months, and in my last video, the comments went wild. Is this even healthy? What about loose skin? Did you starve yourself? Is this AI? So in this video, I'm gonna give you the absolute truth, straight up. The good, the bad, and the ugly, so you know exactly what to expect if you're trying to lose fat fast yourself. Now, before we talk about strategy, you need context, because I think the biggest mistake people make when watching weight loss videos is projecting their situation onto the person they're watching. So here are my stats, so you're not comparing your journey to mine without knowing the full picture. So I'm 5'8", I started around 212, 214 pounds, and right now I sit around 165 pounds. I'm 33 years old. Today's my birthday, actually. And I've been training for about 9 years. Now, why does this matter? Because your numbers are going to change the expectations. A 6'5" guy at 165 pounds is severely underweight. A 5'8" guy at 165 pounds is exactly where he should be, more or less, if he trains. So the same 50-pound cut looks completely different on different bodies. And because I've been lifting for almost a decade, I also have more muscle mass than the average person my height, which helps with fullness, strength retention, and how my body looks as the weight comes off. So I want to be clear, these numbers don't make fat loss easier, they just explain the context of my result. I'm not genetically gifted, I'm not 19 years old, I don't walk around in 6% body fat year round. I'm just a regular dude with a kid, a business, and a gym membership. This is just the baseline we're starting from. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, now that you know my stats, here are the actual advantages I had going into this cut. And I want to be honest about them, because pretending I had zero advantages helps no one. So, advantage number one, I'm a coach. I've been a personal trainer for 5 years, in person, online, and when you coach enough people through fat loss, you start noticing something. Everyone has different lives, but the problems are the same. The patterns are the same. The traps are the same, but the solutions repeat themselves. This is that Bruce Lee quote, "I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks, but the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times." Fat loss is my one kick. I've done it hundreds of times with myself and on other people. It's a thing that I've gotten a lot of practice with. Advantage number two, I understand nutrition in real life and I understand the science. Now, I'm not a registered dietitian, but honestly, it doesn't matter as much as people think, because a lot of registered dietitians teach what works on paper, but you don't live on paper. You live in the real world. I've had people come to me after working with dietitians saying, I still don't understand what to do. And when I simplify it, suddenly it clicks. And that's from experience, not a certificate. Advantage number three, I'm a systems guy. I don't wake up every day trying to be disciplined. I like to build systems that remove decision fatigue, which is a thing that actually thwarts a lot of people's progress. Because systems beat motivation, systems beat willpower, and this is why I'm able to repeat results, not just get lucky once. And that's it. Those are my advantages. They don't make fat loss effortless, and they don't give me superpowers. They just give me clarity. And clarity always makes the process simple and faster. Now, advantages aside, let me tell you the stuff that actually worked against me. Because I promise you, my life didn't magically make fat loss easy. Disadvantage number one, I don't have a lot of time. I'm not a 22-year-old influencer with nothing but free time and sponsored meals. I'm a 33-year-old guy trying to build his own business with a 3-year-old son. If you're a parent, you already know, your time isn't your own. So no, I wasn't meal prepping for 6 hours, hitting 2-a-day workouts, or living in the gym. I don't really have time for that. Disadvantage number two, I don't have a lot of money, not even close. I'm not one of these influencers with meal prep sponsorships, weekly Whole Food hauls, or a fridge full of $8 protein yogurts. I'm in debt, like actual debt. I barely have enough to replace this sandal. This last year has been rough, and every dollar I spend on groceries has to be accounted for. So I don't have the luxury of solving my food problems with money. If I had money, sure, I'd make this way easier on myself. I get meal prep delivered, I grab fast, high protein meal options from a fast food joint. I'd get more variety so I don't eat the same boring meals every week. But that's not my reality. My reality is Costco, coupons, buying in bulk, and stretching groceries so they last. And if the food runs out, yeah, sometimes I'm basically in survival mode until the next grocery trip. So no, I didn't lose weight because I had convenience on my side. I did it with limited money, limited variety, and the same budget problems most people have. Disadvantage number three, I can feel being 33. I'm not saying I'm ancient, but I definitely feel the difference between 24-year-old me and 33-year-old me. My recovery isn't the same, my energy isn't the same. I don't have that young guy aggression anymore, though honestly, some of that I think is just from me calming down as I've gotten older. All I'm saying is this. I used to be able to sleep 3 hours, slam an energy drink, walk into the gym, and hit a PR. There is absolutely no way that's happening anymore. So no, I didn't lose 50 pounds because my metabolism is superhuman or because I'm some unstoppable 20-year-old athlete. I did it with a 33-year-old body that creaks, complains, and needs way more sleep than it used to. Disadvantage number 4. I love food. Like I love food. I'm not one of those, whoops, I forgot to eat today, people. If anything, I'm the opposite. I could easily crush 2 plates of steak, potatoes, and veggies. And I grew up in a house where you do not waste food. You finish your plate even if you're full. And a lot of people were raised like that. And believe it or not, it absolutely affects fat loss because now you're fighting your nature. Disadvantage number 5, life's hard. I'll spare you the details, but I wasn't dieting in a peaceful Zen garden. For example, I drive a 92 Honda Accord. Yeah, a car as old as me. And one day, it straight up died on me in the gym parking lot. I couldn't even tow it from the spot. I had to push it all the way down so the tow truck could hook it. Starter was blown, $500 bill I was absolutely not prepared for. So trust me, after a day like that, staring at a bag of gummy bears in the mechanic shop, that's real temptation. That's the moments where people break. Not because they're weak, but because they're human. So I didn't lose 50 pounds because my conditions were perfect. If anything, they were pretty damn average, or maybe even a little worse than average. Which is exactly why this next section matters, because strategy only works if it can survive real life. Now, before we get into the strategy of what I did use, let me clear up a few things I didn't do. Because the internet loves to fill in the blanks with nonsense. A lot of people think rapid fat loss means starvation or doing extreme stuff, but I didn't do anything extreme. On the list of things I didn't do, number 1, I didn't starve myself. I still ate real meals. I didn't fast all day. I wasn't doing OMAD on purpose. I mean, if I ever skipped a meal, it was because life got crazy, not because it was part of my plan. Number 2, I didn't skip carbs. No keto torture. I literally ate carbs on purpose. Rice, cereal, potatoes, chips, you name it, because it was part of the meal plan I set up. Number 3, I didn't rely on cheat days. I didn't do the classic eat clean all week and go feral on Saturday routine. I use refeed days, structured, higher carb days that kept me sane and moving forward. Number 4, I didn't eliminate junk food. I eat junk food. Always have, always will. I just learned how to fit it into my numbers on purpose instead of by accident. Number 5, I didn't take shortcuts. No steroids, no TRT, no semaglutide, Ozempic, GLP-1s, no fat burners, no appetite suppressants, no magic supplements, just food, steps, lifting weights, and a plan. Number 6, I didn't meal prep like a bodybuilder. No Tupperware containers, no chicken, rice, and broccoli diet. I didn't have the money, the time, or the desire for that. Everything I ate had to be fast, simple, and cheap. Number 7, I didn't stop working out. I train 3 days a week, and that's because it just fits my life, not because it's optimal. And obviously, 3 days a week is easier to be consistent with than 4 or 5. And finally, I didn't follow a perfect plan. Life happened. I messed up sometimes. I got hungry sometimes. I had days when I was tired, stressed, and annoyed all at once. But none of those moments mattered because the system was strong enough to survive real life. So that's everything I didn't do. Now let's talk about what I actually did, because the real strategy might surprise you. For starters, I use calorie and carb cycling. And before that scares you, here's all that means. I took my weekly calories, and instead of eating the exact same amount every day, I split them into higher calorie, higher carb days, and lower calorie, lower carb days. That's it. On high carb days, I felt full, strong, and energized. And on low carb days, I'd wake up leaner, less bloated, and closer to my goal. It wasn't magic. It just kept me mentally locked in without feeling deprived. The second thing I did, I kept my training simple. I lifted 3 days a week. That's it. No 6 days, no 2-hour workouts, no beast mode. 3 simple, focused strength sessions per week. Why? Because I have a kid, a business, a life, bills, stress, and I needed something sustainable. And when you're dieting, your recovery drops anyway, so 3 days is the perfect sweet spot to stimulate muscle, maintain strength, and not burn out. Literally anyone can do 3 days a week. And if you really wanted to, you could do 2. The third thing I did was hit 10,000 steps every single day. My cardio was literally walking. A walking pad under my desk, pacing while on calls, playing with my boy, no sprints, unless I was chasing him, no hit, no summer shred circuits, just walking. Boring, easy, unbelievably effective walking. It kept my daily calorie burn high without frying my recovery. Fourth thing I did is I built a repeatable food system. This is the quiet reason I never fell off. I wasn't deciding what to eat every day. I had 4 to 6 go-to meals in MyFitnessPal already created, already plugged in, quick and convenient foods I could make in minutes, or seconds even. High protein, high volume meals for hunger, and fast food options that fit my numbers when life got chaotic. I wasn't relying on discipline, I was relying on a system. I also used refeed days to manage hunger. No cheat days, no binges, just intentional higher carb days that made the whole process feel humane. When hunger crept in or stress got high, I just bump up the carbs for a day and feel 10 times better the next. The sixth thing, I stayed consistent, not perfect. This is the final piece people misunderstand. I had stressful days, I had hangry days, I had days where life kicked me in the teeth. But the strategy was so simple and so doable that even on my bad days, I could still hit the bare minimum. And the bare minimum, repeated daily, is what melted 50 pounds off me. Okay, now that you understand strategy, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because after my last video, the comments went crazy. Isn't losing 50 pounds in 4 months too fast? What about loose skin? Did you starve yourself? How did you not binge? So let's break it down. Exactly what made this easy, what made it hard, and what actually happened to my body. Now, what made this surprisingly easy? My food system removed all the thinking. Decision fatigue thwarts most progress. When your meals are already built in MyFitnessPal, dieting becomes stupid simple. Because you're not tracking individual ingredients, you're literally tapping buttons on your phone. You're just tapping that plus button and then your whole meal goes on your phone or your diary. I also got a walking pad. Remember when I said I was in debt? Yeah, this is where this shows up. I do not have the funds or space for a fancy treadmill. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, haggled with the guy, and got a walking pad for 70 bucks. Slapped it under my desk, and suddenly 10,000 steps a day became autopilot. I'd wake up, get on the walking pad, knock out half my steps before breakfast, and that's literally it. Convenience was the strategy, which leads into convenient foods saved me. Microwavable rice, potatoes, frozen protein, bagged veggies. If it took more than 3 minutes to make, I wasn't cooking it. Most people overcomplicate food. I undercomplicated it. Calorie and carb cycling kept me ahead of hunger. Hunger is the #1 reason most diets fail. But with this system, when I felt hunger creeping in, I'd literally think, my refeed day is tomorrow. I just need to go to sleep. And that alone kept me locked in. Hunger didn't control me because I planned for it. Now, what made this hard? Let me be clear. The strategy was simple. Life was not. And that's what makes this hard. The first thing, stress makes everything harder. Were there days when I wanted to binge on junk food just to make me happy and give me a dopamine rush because of the stress? 100%. But then I think, well, being stressed and fat isn't better, and that thought alone just kept me in line. The second thing, hunger is normal, kind of. Not starvation, just the damn, I could eat kind of hunger. And if you're not mentally prepared for that feeling, it could break you, but when you have a plan and a refeed day, you can get ahead of it. Number 3, discipline has to show up. This isn't a motivation journey. There were days I did not want to train, track, walk, or be on a diet, but I still had to show up. Let me think about it. How many times have you gotten up to go to work when you don't feel like it, but you do it anyway because you got to pay the rent, right? All right, so treat your goals the same way you treat paying the fucking rent. Don't tell me the rent is held in higher regard than your goals. Fourth thing, life will life like it always lifes. Shit happens. You know, I still drive that 92 Honda Accord. It makes noises I'm not emotionally equipped to deal with, and every drive feels like a coin flip. But guess what? I can't control if the car takes a shit. I can't control random disasters. I can't control half the chaos in my life. But I can control what I put in my mouth, how often I train, where I get my steps, and whether I show up. And that's why this worked. All right, now for the side effects. Did I get loose skin? No, I wasn't morbidly obese. The haters in the comments will say otherwise, but my skin didn't stretch past its limit, and I never stopped lifting, so even when I gained weight, I also gained muscle. It wasn't just pure fat. The haters in the comments will say otherwise. How are my energy levels? 90% of the time, normal. The other 10%, if I slept like crap, had a stressful day, or towards the end of the cut when I was leaner, sure, I didn't feel the best, but that's normal. How many people do you know that have top-notch energy every single day? Did my hormones crash? No, I don't think so. Ironically, the worst I ever felt dieting was years ago doing the flexible dieting approach with no structure. This method was smoother, cleaner, and more stable. Was I starving? No. Hungry sometimes? Yes. Starving? Not really. And there is a massive difference. I think sometimes people confuse the two. Is this too fast? Here's my honest take. Too fast compared to what? Because people say fast fat loss isn't sustainable, but dieting for a whole year isn't sustainable either. I've dieted fast, slow, and smart wins. Fast fat loss only becomes bad when the method is bad, not the speed. My personal philosophy as a coach, just get it over with. Solve the problem so you can get back to living, because once you're in maintenance, you can eat the cookie. You can go out to dinner. You can just relax. You can breathe. And is it too fast if you're a beginner? I mean, I've run this exact system on beginners, clients, challengers, even a random guy on a TikTok live once who lost 20 pounds in 30 days. Fast fat loss is possible. You just need the right system. So now that you've heard all that, now that you actually know what my life looked like when I was losing this weight, I want you to ask yourself something. Is your situation really harder than mine? Or did it just feel impossible because you didn't have a plan yet? Because here's the truth. If I can lose 50 pounds with a toddler, a failing piece of shit car, massive debt, running a business, being exhausted, budgeting groceries, and still dealing with the same cravings and stress everyone else has, then your life isn't the deal breaker you think it is. Your situation might be better, or it might be worse, but it's not disqualifying. And that's the entire point of this video. You don't need the perfect conditions. You just need a real strategy. And that's exactly why I built this system to be repeatable. Because if it works under my circumstances, it works under real life. This wasn't a me thing. This was a system thing. Because after I finished my cut, I ran this exact same method on people with completely different schedules, different jobs, different family situations, different metabolisms, different starting points. And guess what? The solution was the same. A clear plan, a simple strategy, and structure that survives real life, and accountability that keeps you from quitting on the days where life throws punches. And that's why I'm doing something big. Starting on January 5th, I'm running a live 8-week fat loss challenge where I'm going to be walking a small group of people through the same system I use to lose 50 pounds in 4 months, and the same system my clients have used to drop 10 to 15, even 20 pounds in weeks. And this is for the people who want structure, accountability, coaching support, a community chasing the same goal, and a strategy that actually works in real life. So if you're a real living human with real responsibilities and you want a plan that actually fits life instead of fighting it, reserve your spot using the link below. I'm capping it at a limited number of people so I can actually coach everyone properly. So once the spots are taken, that's it. Now, everything I answered in this video came from one simple truth. A plan and strategy move the needle forward, but habits stop you from sliding backwards. So if you want to know the 5 habits that made losing 50 pounds not only possible, but repeatable and sustainable through a chaotic life, you can watch this video right here. So stay strong, and I'll see you on the next one.